We're OpenDrone, and we're a project that's working to make drone delivery accessible. So the problem that we're trying to solve is that hospitals aren't getting deliveries fast enough. Rapid delivery is something that's essential for every industry. But the difference with hospitals is that it's more than just a matter of convenience. It's more than just getting things faster. It's a case where it's a difference between life and death. People getting medical supplies faster can save lives. And the issue is that that's not happening, especially not in rural areas. The underdeveloped roads make it really hard for land-based solutions to reach there in times less than a couple of hours. And on top of that, the difficulties faced by the COVID pandemic, that ripple effect that have damaged so many supply chains, is still very much there in rural areas. So how do we solve that? So what we're doing is we're creating a service that aims to make air-based delivery accessible. And what we're doing is we want to create a service that's cheap, accessible, fast, and reliable. And that's why we're building a drone to do this, a drone that can be implemented in any location, in any business. And that allows us to more effectively reach locations that are further away from any other place, smaller businesses that may not necessarily have the funds to work on large deals. We're not trying to, let's say, bring drones to like a Walmart or a CVS. We're bringing drones to the people which these larger companies like your Amazons cannot. So what's really important about this is obviously making sure that people actually want this. So we started off by using Zipline as a case study. Zipline is an incredibly successful drone delivery company. They deliver blood to hospitals, and they brought down the delivery time from 4 hours to 15 minutes in Rwanda. And what they've shown by becoming $1 billion company is that this is something where there is a huge need for it. People desperately want a service like this, and it's something that hospitals are severely lacking. What we're doing different, however, is that we're able to reach out to smaller places. We're able to reach out to small businesses, startups, and other independently owned pharmacies. And to really validate that, we've really just called up these people, gone to their stores and talked to them. And now that we've really built the drone, now that we have photos, we have physical images which we can show them, we're receiving a lot of positive feedback, and they're showing a lot of interest in the product. So what exactly is this product? What we're doing is we're building a VTOL drone for $500. And now what is VTOL? VTOL stands for vertical takeoff and landing. And what this means is we're creating a drone that, although it acts like a plane for most of the time, the key difference is that it can essentially stand on its wings. And that allows it to take off vertically. Now, what that means is the drone doesn't need a runway. It doesn't need any sophisticated launching system to take off. All it needs is just the space that it takes up. And this allows us to effectively create a drone where all you need is just a small landing mat outside the store. And that's enough to be part of the network. What we're really aiming for is zero cost integration, where businesses don't have to pay anything to join our network, so that we can effectively grow rapidly and reach hundreds, thousands of customers in just a few years. Now, here are the specs of the drone. One thing to note is that the range is still currently based on theoretical values. The drone hasn't flown yet, so we are yet to validate that. However, the rest of these values have been validated with a physical model, which I'll also show after the presentation. Now, of course, building a drone delivery system is an incredibly challenging task, both from a technical standpoint and also from a legal standpoint. That's why it really doesn't make sense for us to immediately look at launch as a goal, because that is something we can only really look at a commercial launch in about a year or so. So that's why we're making sure we can hit consistent milestones and really show traction throughout the process, rather than just when we're done with it. So we're starting off by showing off a proof of concept, which is where we're building our drone and really showing that it flies and really giving proof that we're able to build something like this. And we've been in the process of building the drone for the past month or so, and we're looking to finish in the next week. After that, we would be looking to pursue a pilot program where we would really test our drone between certain locations and really see the operations, and also look at, what are the challenges that we're facing and how can we mitigate them. Once we're done with all of that, we would really be working towards getting the legal approval to do a commercial launch, which is where, our drone is officially part of the market. And over there, then our goals are really going to be sort of increasing customers as much as we can. So this obviously comes with a lot of challenges. And I think majority of these really come in the legal space. And that's why we're so glad to have helpful over here with the legal help and support, which really helps us move across this process faster and understand what are the challenges. So we need to get manufacturer approval for our pilot program and beyond, where we need to get a drone approved by the Indian government so that we are allowed to fly. Along with that, we also need to get BVLOS approval, which stands for Beyond Visual Line of Sight, which is something that we would need to do for our launch. And actually, for before any of these can happen, the Indian government is actually quite strict. So they would want us to be a legal entity, which is also a process we'll have to start working on. So I think that sort of leads us to what our roadmap is for our next 2 to 3 months, where we would be building and testing our prototype, which is almost done now, and we'd be beginning our implementation of the pilot. And while this is all going on, we'd of course be working on the legal stuff in the background, the incorporation, drone registration, and all. So that's really the stage where OpenDrone is at. You can find all of our documentation on Google Drive. And if you want to learn more about the company, you can look at theopendrone.com. And yeah, I'll send all the relevant links on the Zoom meeting.